All right, everyone, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. We've got some coverage metrics to go over in this video. First, before I get into the numbers here, collaboration stream with the Hawk's Nest coming up later today on this channel. Should be about 3 o'clock as always. So keep an eye out for that before the Thursday night game. And we should have a lot of interesting things to talk about for about an hour. So definitely put that on your calendar. 3 o'clock today. All right, so pass coverage Thursday. We're going to go ahead and go through these numbers real quick. And this week, most of the numbers are not going to be too bad because we actually held the Saints and Jameis Winston to not a huge game through the air. They did some damage, especially in the screen game and with some of the dump offs and checkdowns, but for the most part, pretty good. So let's run it through, starting with the linebackers, and there are only two linebackers to talk about here because only two of these guys played, Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks. So Bobby Wagner was targeted twice, and he allowed 2 completions, so that's pretty good. He did allow a decent chunk of yards. According to PFR, he allowed about 39 yards, which is not really what you're looking for, but not a terrible game from Bobby. He is still getting thrown at a lot, but he's doing a reasonable job, at least not allowing any big plays. QB rating allowed is 95.7, which, given his age, I guess seems pretty reasonable. This is one of the reasons why I say we need to move on from Bobby next year, though. This is only going to get worse. His coverage skills are only going to decline even more than they already have. Now, Jordan Brooks actually played a decent game in coverage. He got targeted once. He allowed one completion. I know that he knocked down a pass in the end zone. I don't think PFR gave him the credit as being the target there because he wasn't really in coverage. He just dropped back into the area where the ball was thrown as it was thrown, which I don't know if I agree with, but regardless, PFR says that he allowed 1 reception on 1 target for, let's see here, 10 yards. So given the fact that Jordan Brooks has gotten picked on for most of this season in coverage, that's really good. His QB rating allowed is still not good, 124.1, but it is at least starting to trend in the right direction. And at the very least, you can't say he got picked on. And again, I would personally say that he got targeted once in the end zone and actually knocked the pass down, but that's obviously in the eye of the beholder, and PFR disagrees. And that's it for the linebackers. Now we go to the cornerbacks, and mostly good stuff here, I would say. I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff here. DJ Reed got targeted in this game 4 times, and he allowed 1 completion. Now, here's where I have to bring in a little bit of a caveat. He was targeted on a couple of drops, and the Saints dropped some passes in that game. So these coverage numbers look a little better than they probably should. I still think we did a pretty good job, especially because the pass rush is still not where we wanted it to be, even if it is starting to show some signs of life. So I feel like they played well, but there were definitely some drops by the Saints. DJ Reed allowed 6 yards in coverage. That's good regardless of any drops or not. His QB rating allowed is down to 84.5, and he's playing really good football ever since we moved him back to the other side of the defense. Now that he's back on the side of the defense that he can actually, play well at. It took 3 games too long for us to realize that, but at least we did realize it. So he's playing good football right now. Trey Flowers is obviously off the team. Sidney Jones actually played pretty well against the Saints as well. He was targeted 6 times according to PFR and allowed 2 receptions. Again, he benefited from some drops and some errant passes from Jameis Winston, but he definitely played a better game than what we're used to. He only allowed 20 yards in coverage. His QB rating is still quite high, which it's not... Overall, the numbers are still not good, obviously, but he did play a pretty decent game. He got away with some stuff because of Winston. He got away with some stuff because of Saints receivers, but I'll take what I can get. Trey Brown got targeted 4 times against the Saints and allowed 3 completions for a total of, let's see here, 28 yards. So, not as good as the first game, but still fine. Again, he benefited from some drops, but Trey Brown's off to a pretty good start to his NFL career. He's played 2 pretty solid games. QB rating allowed against is 65.5, really solid. Clearly part of the future. Now, will the new car smell start to come off him as time goes by? Maybe, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Marquise Blair did not get targeted. I think the one time he got targeted, there was offensive pass interference, and now he's out for the season. Ugo Amadi got targeted twice and allowed, let's see here, 2 completions for a total of 19 yards. So pretty good game by Ugo as well. He forced that fumble, so Ugo did good, and now we're going to be leaning on him more than ever because of the Blair injury. And yeah, most of this cornerback stuff, quite good. Okay, safeties. Let's start with Jamal Adams. Some pretty good stuff here. He got targeted twice, and I believe, yeah, he did not allow a single completion in that game. Now, one of them he broke up. Another one might have been dropped to my recollection, but he's playing better in coverage lately. 57% completion allowed, 127 yards. The 1 touchdown, I think that was against the Rams, and a QB rating against of 90.8. We're still waiting for the turnovers. We're still waiting for the big plays. We're still waiting for some stuff on Jamal. But he is playing better football right now. Credit where credit is due. And at the end of the day, Jamal's going to be here for a while, regardless of how we all feel about it. And with the money he's making, there's no reason to move on from him anytime for at least the next year and a half, at least. So, sitting here and just endlessly shit-talking him is not going to... is not going to do anybody any good. He is playing better. Still waiting on the big plays, though. Quandre Diggs, he got targeted 4 times against the Saints and allowed 1 completion for 15 yards. So Quandre Diggs is playing well in coverage as well lately. Early in the season, I got on him a little bit because I thought he was giving up some stuff, but lately he's cleaned that up. QB rating against is down to 42.5, so hey, he's doing his job. Can't say anything bad about Quandre, except for the fact that I think he's not going to be here next year, which, I mean, you know, good for him at this rate, right? He doesn't deserve 2-5. Ryan Neal was one guy who got picked on a little bit. He got targeted 3 times and allowed 2 completions, which doesn't sound that bad, but he did allow 37 yards, and he did get picked on a little bit on that 1 touchdown drive the Saints had, and a lot of people were not kind to him in the comments after and during that game. It's really the first time in a while that I've seen Ryan Neal look bad in a game, though. So I'm not going to hold it against him too hard, but he did not play too well. He was put in some bad situations, if we're being straight honest. I'm not mad at him or anything. It just kind of is what it is. Sometimes you're the guy in the barrel. But yeah, he got picked on just a little bit compared to some of these other guys. And that's it. That's it for coverage, pass coverage Thursday. Mostly pretty good. We benefited from drops, like I said, but they played better. They are starting to play better. There's some signs of life in the cornerback room. The safeties, other than Ryan Neal, who is actually right now probably playing more corner than safety anyway, they're playing well. There are some things to concern ourselves with, but in the modern NFL, you're not going to shut down most passing attacks unless they're quarterbacked by Geno Smith. All right, so keep an eye out for the Hawks Nest stream later today. See you guys there. Peace out. Go Hawks.